Hello and welcome to this deep dive presentation about changes to the primary client labeling in the Income Support module of Kurum Social Program Management version 7.02. In this presentation, we'll start by discussing the as-is scenario, that is, the state of the software prior to version 7.02. We'll then move on to an overview of the solution or enhancement, including screenshots and descriptions of the to-be scenario. In other words, the changes in version 7.02. We'll then present some of the technical details of the changes, and we'll finish by telling you where you can find more information about the updates. Kurum SPM has been designed with a mandate for capturing a primary client on an integrated case. The purpose of a primary client was to indicate to the caseworker which case member was considered the main point of contact for the household. However, this is not relevant for income support programs. This is because income support uses evidence to capture information about the current circumstances of the family. This evidence includes head of household for cash assistance and food assistance programs, and application details evidence for insurance affordability programs. Income support cases can be open for years, and household membership can change over time for a variety of reasons, including birth, death, and divorce. When these changes of circumstance occur, and evidence is updated in the integrated case to reflect the current situation of the household, case members are still displayed to caseworkers as being the primary client, even though they may no longer be part of the household, or indicated as the head of household. For caseworkers, this display of primary client information represents potentially contradictory and confusing information, and may cause them to mistakenly think that a client that is indicated as the primary client of a case remains an active participant in the case. We will now walk through a scenario to illustrate how this impacted caseworkers when they used the application. Jill is a caseworker in South Carolina who is responsible for managing client applications for food, cash, and medical assistance programs. Jill processed an application for the Jones family for food assistance and entered Ted as the first applicant, indicating him as the head of household for the FA program. After Jill authorized the family for the FA program, the system created an income support integrated case for Ted and his wife Julie, as well as an FA product delivery. Since Jill entered Ted into the application first, he is indicated as the primary client of the integrated case. Although Jill knows that both Ted and Julie are in the assistance unit for the FA program, she sees only Ted indicated as a member of the FA product delivery case on the integrated case homepage. A few months later, Julie contacts caseworker Jill to let her know that unfortunately Ted has passed away. Julie will now serve as the head of household. Jill navigates to the evidence workspace and updates the evidence to indicate that Julie is now the head of household and Ted has left the household. After applying these evidence changes, it is confusing to see that Ted is still considered the primary client of the integrated case and FA product delivery case. In addition, when Jill views case information in other areas of the application, such as the My Cases list, she still sees only Ted listed as the primary client, even though he is no longer an active household member. There is no reference to Julie. To solve these problems, Kurum version 7.02 introduces functionality that allows customers to hide references to the phrase primary client in the user interface. There are new application properties that allow the customer to enable or disable the user interface changes. By default, the properties are set to disabled. Here you can see before and after views of the same page, specifically a page that displays cases in lists. The top screenshot shows the layout of the page in version 7.01. The bottom screenshot contains the same page in version 7.02. On pages that display lists of cases, the change in version 7.02 enables the display of multiple case members, rather than only the primary client. The names are sorted in alphabetical order. The case members that the application displays are determined by the case type. In addition, the names in the Clients column are no longer hyperlinked. HCR and Income Support application and integrated cases display all active case members with a role of member or primary client, including those with an end date. HCR and Income Support product delivery cases display all case members that are an active member of the case group of type member, including those with an end date. For all other case types, the default is to display all active case participant roles of type member or primary client, including those with an end date. Client names are no longer displayed in hyperlink format for two reasons. First, feedback from implementation personnel indicated that caseworkers typically would not navigate to a person homepage from these types of pages. And second, there is a need to maintain consistency with how multiple clients display in application cases. In the top screenshot from version 7.01 of the Income Support integrated case, the primary label displays for the person that is the primary client of the case, along with labels for the relationships that the other case members have with that person. In the bottom example from version 7.02, the application property prevents any role labels from being displayed. In version 7.02, there are three integrated case homepage changes controlled by two application properties. In the top screenshot of the Income Support integrated case homepage in version 7.01, the primary client label displays the name of the primary client of the product delivery case. In the bottom version 7.02 screenshot with the application property enabled, the label has been changed to Clients, and all case members are displayed. There are three changes to the case participants and case members list pages. The three changes are controlled by two properties. On the Income Support integrated case details page from version 7.01, the case participant type for Marie Smith is primary client. In the corresponding version 7.02 page with the application property enabled, Marie Smith is listed with a case participant type of member. There are three additional person and income support application-related changes, which are controlled by two properties. The top screenshot shows the Cases page under the Care and Protection tab displayed for a person in version 7.01. The primary client role displays when the person is the primary client in the case. In the bottom example, from version 7.02, the application property is enabled. You can see that the role that is displayed is Member. In the screenshot, the new feature to remove references to the primary client is enabled. When caseworker Jill views the integrated case homepage, she sees that Ted and Julie are both case members of the FA product delivery case, and no longer sees that Ted is the primary client of the integrated case. Likewise, on the My Cases list, Jill sees that both Ted and Julie are clients of the income support case. From a technical standpoint, the enhancement to minimize references to primary client in the user interface required changes to artifacts in the SPM platform, income support, and HCR. The artifacts include UIM pages, context panels, and associated artifacts, such as facades and structs. The changes introduced new user interface configuration parameters to control whether the primary client is visible in the different types of pages. A hook point is introduced to customize the return of clients in case list pages. Review the impacted UIM pages and context panels to decide whether to update any custom versions of these pages. There are no changes to the database, rules, and other artifacts. That is, no upgrade scripts or tools are necessary to run. 8 new properties control whether references to primary client are hidden or displayed in context panels and UIM pages. The default settings cause references to primary client information to display in the UI, as it did for previous releases. 7 properties, which begin with primary client.display, control whether primary client is displayed or hidden for certain types of pages. For example, context panels, pages that display cases in lists, and integrated case home pages. The properties are summarized in the table on the slide. Note that the first 6 properties are for income support and HCR, while the primary client.display.application property is for income support only. The primary client.display.caselistpages.caseClients property controls whether the label primary client is displayed on SPM platform case list pages that are used by income support, such as My Cases and Case Search. An additional property, which is for HCR only, allows you to remove the name of the primary client from the HCR Insurance Affordability Integrated Case tab title and tab header. For a description of the properties and the pages they control, search for the following sections in the Knowledge Center: Configuring primary client display settings for income support, Configuring primary client display settings for healthcare reform, and configuring display case clients on case list pages. When caselistpages.caseClients is set to true, the primary client is hidden, and the system returns one of the following to display multiple case members on pages that list cases: case participant roles of type member, or members of the case groups of type member that are associated with the case. Case Clients Population Hook can be used to customize the members that are returned. That is, it allows products that do not use case participant roles to use member case groups. The hook points are described in the following section of the Knowledge Center: Configuring primary client display settings for income support. In addition, the Java doc for the component describes the hook point. You can find more information about these updates in the IBM Knowledge Center for Kurum SPM. The new configuration properties are described in the Income Support, HCR, and Integrated Case Management guides. The specific sections are mentioned in the previous slides. Also, the online help is updated, and the Java doc describes the new hook point. This is IBM's standard legal disclaimer. And this concludes the presentation about changes to the primary client labeling in the Income Support module of Kurum Social Program Management version 7.02. Thank you for watching.